History remembers many powerful rulers. Some built empires, some commanded armies. These leaders left indelible marks on the world, shaping the course of history through their conquests, governance, and legacies. Their stories are often filled with tales of bravery, strategic brilliance, and sometimes sheer ruthlessness. Yet among these towering figures, one man stands out not just for his power or military prowess, but for his extraordinary wealth and the impact it had on his kingdom and beyond. But one man stands out for his extraordinary wealth. His name has become synonymous with unimaginable riches, a symbol of opulence that few can even begin to fathom. His wealth was not just a measure of his personal fortune, but a reflection of the prosperity and resources of his entire kingdom. Mansa Musa, the king of Mali, is widely considered the richest person to have ever lived. His reign in the 14th century marked a period of unprecedented wealth and cultural flourishing in West Africa. Mansa Musa's name is often mentioned in the same breath as other legendary figures of wealth, but his story is unique in many ways. His fortune was so vast it's almost impossible to comprehend today. Estimates of his wealth vary, but some historians believe that if adjusted for inflation, his net worth would be equivalent to hundreds of billions of dollars today. This staggering amount of wealth was not just a result of his kingdom's natural resources but also his strategic control over trade routes and his wise economic policies. Mansa Musa's wealth came from his kingdom's vast resources. Mali was rich in gold, a commodity that was highly sought after across the world. The gold mines of Mali were among the most productive in the world, and Mansa Musa ensured that this wealth was harnessed effectively to benefit his kingdom. Mali, under his rule, controlled important trade routes across the Sahara Desert. These routes were the lifelines of commerce connecting West Africa to North Africa and beyond. Caravans laden with gold, salt, and other valuable goods traversed these routes, bringing immense wealth to Mali and establishing it as a major economic hub. Gold, salt, and other valuable goods flowed through his empire, making him incredibly wealthy. The bustling markets of Mali were filled with traders from distant lands, all eager to exchange their goods for the precious resources that Mansa Musa's kingdom had in abundance. This trade not only enriched the kingdom, but also facilitated cultural exchanges and the spread of ideas. But Mansa Musa was more than just a rich king. His wealth was matched by his wisdom and his commitment to the betterment of his people. He was a visionary leader who understood the importance of education, culture, and religion in building a prosperous and harmonious society. He was a devout Muslim, a scholar, and a patron of the arts. Mansa Musa's reign saw the construction of grand mosques, the establishment of libraries, and the patronage of scholars and artists. He invited scholars from across the Muslim world to his court, fostering an environment of intellectual and cultural growth. His reign marked a golden age for Mali, a period of great intellectual and cultural flourishing. The cities of Mali, particularly Timbuktu, became centers of learning and culture, attracting scholars, poets, and artists from far and wide. This cultural renaissance left a lasting legacy that continued to influence the region for centuries. This essay will explore the life and legacy of Mansa Musa. We will delve into the various aspects of his reign, examining how his wealth and policies transformed Mali into a beacon of prosperity and culture. We will also look at the broader impact of his rule on the African continent and the world. We will delve into his rise to power, his legendary pilgrimage to Mecca, and his impact on Mali and the wider world. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage to Mecca is one of the most famous episodes of his life, showcasing not only his immense wealth, but also his deep religious faith. This journey had far-reaching implications, both for Mali and for the perception of Africa in the wider world. Join us as we uncover the fascinating story of Mansa Musa, the richest man to ever live. Mansa Musa ruled Mali during the 14th century. He is often regarded as one of the wealthiest individuals in history, with his reign marking a golden age for the Mali Empire. His leadership and vision transformed Mali into a beacon of prosperity and culture. His kingdom was located in West Africa, spanning a large swath of territory in what is now Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, and Mauritania. The vastness of his empire was a testament to his military prowess and diplomatic skills. The Mali Empire was strategically positioned, controlling important trade routes that connected the interior of Africa to the Mediterranean and beyond. At this time, Europe was experiencing the Middle Ages, a period often characterized by feudalism, castles, and knights. While Europe was grappling with its own challenges, including wars and plagues, Africa was witnessing the rise of powerful and sophisticated empires. But in Africa, powerful empires like Mali were thriving. These empires were not only centers of political power but also hubs of economic activity and cultural development. The bustling markets of Mali were filled with traders from distant lands exchanging goods, ideas, and knowledge. These empires were sophisticated and well-organized, with advanced systems of government, trade, and culture. The Mali Empire, under Mansa Musa's rule, had a complex administrative system that ensured efficient governance. Trade routes crisscrossed the empire, bringing in wealth and facilitating cultural exchanges. Festivals and artistic expressions flourished, reflecting the rich heritage of the region. Mansa Musa's Mali was one of the most powerful empires in Africa. His court was a place of grandeur and sophistication, attracting scholars, artists, and traders from far and wide. The cities of the Mali Empire, especially Timbuktu, became synonymous with wealth and learning. It was a center of trade, learning, and Islamic scholarship. Timbuktu in particular housed numerous libraries and madrasas, where scholars from across the Islamic world came to study. The manuscripts preserved in these libraries covered a wide range of subjects, from theology to astronomy, showcasing the intellectual vibrancy of the empire. Mansa Musa's wealth and influence made him a prominent figure not just in Africa, but throughout the medieval world. His famous pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 showcased his immense wealth and generosity, as he distributed gold along the way, leaving a lasting impression on the regions he passed through. This journey not only elevated his status but also highlighted the prosperity and cultural richness of the Mali Empire to the wider world. The Mali Empire grew rich from trade. It controlled important trade routes that crisscrossed the Sahara Desert. These routes connected the gold mines of southern Africa with the markets of North Africa and Europe. The most important commodity traded was gold. Mali was rich in gold, and it was in high demand throughout the world. Merchants from far and wide traveled to Mali to trade for this precious metal. In addition to gold, Mali also traded salt, ivory, kola nuts, slaves, and other goods. This trade brought great wealth to the empire, and Mansa Musa controlled it all. Not much is known about Mansa Musa's early life. We know he was born into the Keita dynasty, the ruling family of the Mali Empire. His ancestors had established Mali as a powerful kingdom. Mansa Musa's predecessor as ruler of Mali was his own brother. When his brother went on a pilgrimage to Mecca, he entrusted the throne to Mansa Musa. He never returned. Mansa Musa ascended to the throne in 1312. He inherited a wealthy and powerful kingdom, but under his rule, Mali's wealth and influence would grow even greater. Mansa Musa was a skilled administrator and military leader. He expanded the borders of the Mali Empire, conquering new territories and subjugating neighboring tribes. He maintained a large and well-equipped army. This ensured the safety of his kingdom and allowed him to project his power throughout the region. Mansa Musa also invested in Mali's infrastructure. He improved trade routes, built mosques, and established Timbuktu as a major center of learning. Mansa Musa was a devout Muslim. In 1324 he decided to undertake the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca. This journey was a religious obligation for all able-bodied Muslims. Mansa Musa's Hajj was no ordinary pilgrimage. He set out from Mali with a massive caravan that stretched for miles. Tens of thousands of people accompanied him, including soldiers, servants, slaves, and subjects. He also brought with him a vast fortune in gold. This gold was carried by camels and was intended to be distributed as alms along the way. Mansa Musa's Hajj caused a sensation throughout the medieval world. His wealth and extravagance were unlike anything people had ever seen before. Everywhere he went, Mansa Musa gave away gold. He distributed it to the poor, gave it as gifts to rulers, and spent it lavishly in the markets. In Cairo, Egypt, his spending caused rampant inflation. The price of gold plummeted, and the city's economy was disrupted for years. Stories of his wealth spread throughout Europe and the Middle East. Mansa Musa's Hajj had a significant economic impact on the regions he traveled through. His massive spending spree injected a huge amount of gold into the economies of North Africa and the Middle East. However, his lavish spending also caused inflation in some areas, particularly in Cairo. This shows the tremendous wealth he possessed and the impact he could have on local economies. Mansa Musa's journey also put Mali on the map, so to speak. The world became aware of this powerful and wealthy African kingdom. Mansa Musa's reign is considered a golden age for Mali. He ruled for 25 years, and during that time, Mali experienced a period of unprecedented peace, prosperity, and cultural achievement. Mansa Musa was a great patron of education and the arts. He built mosques and libraries, and he invited scholars and artists from all over the Islamic world to come to Mali. Under his rule, Timbuktu became a major center of Islamic learning. Scholars from as far away as Persia and Spain traveled to Timbuktu to study. Mansa Musa died in 1337. His death marked the end of an era, but his influence continued to resonate throughout the centuries. He left behind a legacy of wealth, power, and piety. His pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 is legendary, not just for its religious significance but for the immense wealth he displayed along the way. Mansa Musa's caravan included thousands of soldiers, attendants, and camels carrying gold. His generosity was so profound that it caused inflation in the regions he passed through, a testament to his immense wealth. He is still remembered today as one of the greatest rulers in African history. His reign brought unprecedented prosperity and stability to the Mali Empire. Mansa Musa's commitment to education and culture led to the establishment of Timbuktu as a center of learning, attracting scholars from all over the Islamic world. His reign marked the high point of the Mali Empire. Under his leadership, the empire expanded its territories, encompassing parts of modern-day Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Niger, Nigeria, Chad, and Mauritania. The Mali Empire became a hub of trade, culture, and knowledge, influencing regions far beyond its borders. After his death, the empire gradually declined. Internal strife, external pressures, and the eventual rise of rival powers contributed to the weakening of the once mighty empire. However, the foundations laid by Mansa Musa ensured that the cultural and intellectual achievements of the Mali Empire would not be forgotten. However, Mansa Musa's legacy continued to inspire people throughout the region and beyond. His story is a source of pride for many Africans, symbolizing a time when African civilizations were at the forefront of global progress. Today, his legacy is celebrated in Mali and across the African continent, reminding us of the rich history and contributions of African empires. Mansa Musa's story challenges our perceptions of Africa and its place in world history. Often overlooked in mainstream narratives, the achievements of the Mali Empire under Mansa Musa's rule highlight the sophistication and influence of African civilizations. His story encourages a re-evaluation of Africa's role in the global historical context. During the Middle Ages, while Europe was in the midst of the Dark Ages, Africa was home to powerful and sophisticated empires like Mali. The Mali Empire's advancements in trade, education, and culture stand in stark contrast to the turmoil in Europe at the time. Mansa Musa's reign is a testament to the rich and diverse history of Africa, a history that continues to inspire and educate people around the world. Mansa Musa's story is a reminder that Africa has a rich and complex history. It is a history that is often overlooked or marginalized, but it is a history that deserves to be told. Mansa Musa was not just a wealthy king. He was a devout Muslim, a scholar, and a patron of the arts. He used his wealth to benefit his people and to spread Islamic knowledge and culture. He left behind a legacy that continues to inspire people today.